Hello dear students, I would like to welcome you all on the online platform of KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, that is KTHM College, Nashik. I am Dr. Bharati Rajebhosale, working as an assistant professor in the Department of English. In the previous lectures, we have discussed punctuations. In the last lectures, we talked about using commas, using colon, and how to use semicolon. Now, in this lecture, I would like to discuss the topic full stops, that is, how to use full stops. So, let's focus on this slide. Using full stops. A full stop is used at the end of a sentence which is not a question or exclamation. So, focus on the examples. He spoke for an hour on contemporary politics. The audience was impressed by his analysis. So, dear students, actually we know very well how to use full stops, or in what circumstances or in what kind of sentences we have to use full stops. So, these are the examples, and we have used here full stop at the end of the sentence. After that, the next usage of the full stop, it is also used in abbreviations. Let's study some examples. BAMS, MBA, August, January, etc. So at first, what is abbreviations? Dear students, we know abbreviation means a short form of a word or a phrase, or we can say it's a shortened form of a written word or a phrase used in place of the whole word or phrase. Now let's see these examples. BAMS, MBA. So what is the long form of BAMS? It's a Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery. What do you mean by MBA? It's a Master of Business Administrations. So, we have used full stop here in these abbreviations. However, if an abbreviation forms an acronym, full stops are not used. So, keep in mind, when we are using abbreviations and if it becomes an acronym, we are not going to use full stops there. For example, WHO, UNICEF and CAP. Now, at first, we should know what is acronym. So, acronym is an abbreviation formed from the initial letters of other words and pronounced as a word. So, we can say these are the acronyms here, and full stop is not used in all these acronyms. So, we pronounce these acronyms as a whole word. For example, WHO. So, what is the long form of WHO? We know that is it is World Health Organization. After that, we know that it's United Nations Organization. After that, UNICEF, it's United Nations Children's Fund. So, in this way, we know, dear students, that these abbreviations forms an acronym. So, we are not using full stops in it. After that, if an abbreviation becomes well known and is in common usage, full stops are not required. So, keep in mind when to use full stops and when we are not going to use full stops. So, the abbreviation which become well known and they are in common usage, full stops are not required. For example, BBC, CNN, AMI and LIC. You might have came across many times these abbreviations, and we know that full stop is not used in all these abbreviations. So, what is BBC? Dear students, we know that BBC means British Broadcasting Corporation. And what is CNN? It's a cable news network. And what is LIC? It's a Life Insurance Corporation of India. And what is EMI? It's the equated monthly installment. So these abbreviation, they have become now very common, and full stops are not required while writing these abbreviations. Next, we are quite aware of this factor that full stops are not used. Full stops are used in internet and email addresses. Let's focus on these examples. And we know that full stops are used here. For example, Ashish Patel 121@rediffmail.com. So in this way, we have used here full stop, but in this context, they are called as dots. So this is all about full stops. We know that we use full stop at the end of the sentence, but they should not be question or they should not be exclamations. Okay, so also we use full stops in abbreviations, but keep in mind, if an abbreviation it becomes an acronym, we should not use full stops. So also whenever an abbreviation becomes well known and is common in usage, we should not use full stops there. But be aware of the fact that full stops are used in internet and email addresses. Okay, now we are going towards next topic, that is question marks. So using question marks are used in questions. So at first, at the end of the WH question. Now let's see these examples. When did you return from Delhi? What is your brother doing these days? So these are the WH question, and at the end of the WH question we have used question marks. After that, the next use of question mark is we can use question marks at the end of a yes/no question. Let's see these examples. Have you spoken to your doctor? Will you be late for the function? So dear students, focus on these examples, and we have used here question mark at the end of a yes/no question. After that, we can use question tag at the end of question tag. Let's study these examples. It was shocking, wasn't it? They didn't complete the work, did they? So in both these question tags, we have used question mark at the end of the question tag. Now let's see next. At the end of a question in a statement form. So we can use question mark at the end of a question in a statement form. The shops were not open. You are leaving already? So in both the examples, we have used here question mark, though these are the statements, but they appeared here as a form of a question, and so that's why we have used here question mark at the end of a statement. So dear students, in this way, in today's lecture, we have discussed how to use question mark. It's very common, actually we know all these things, that we can use question marks at the end of WH question, at the end of yes/no question, at the end of a tag question, and at last at the end of a question which is in a statement form. So in today's lecture, we covered two topics of punctuation, that is full stops and question marks. Hope you have understood this topic. We will meet again with a new topic. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you.